Hello, Tri Sigma Nation. My name is Meghan Paden, and I'm the Executive Director of the Tri Sigma Foundation. I reside in Indianapolis, Indiana, with my husband, James, my sweet boys, 3.5-year-old and a 2-year-old boy, Hudson and Harrison. And I have the distinct pleasure of being here with Jenna, my counterpart on the sorority side. Jenna, will you just take a minute and introduce yourself?
Yes. Hey there, Tri Sigma. As Meghan mentioned, my name is Jenna Martin Pendry, and I'm the sorority executive director. I live in Western North Carolina in a town called Sylva, North Carolina. We're west of Asheville, about an hour. I reside here in our humble home with my husband, Ben, and our 2 children, Branch, who's 5 years old, and Jacqueline, who's 2 years old. Thrilled to be with you all this afternoon.
Well, Jenna, thank you so much for taking time. You started, especially during these crazy times, you started in February. So I know you are drinking from a fire hose still. Talk to us a little bit about the sorority in the time of COVID-19. Share with us, share with the membership a little bit. What are a challenge or some of the challenges that the sorority is going through?
Oh, yes. We are in a challenge, but everybody is. And so that's not any different necessarily, but we're just having to think differently. And the number one factor that we are focusing on is how do our members know that we are supporting them during COVID-19? And what different ways are we approaching engagement? You know, we are all inundated in our electronic inboxes. Our emails are blowing up with this video and this update, and look at us here and what we're doing here, and Sigma is no different. We're trying to think differently, creatively, and outside of the box on how our members know that we are there for them and that we are supporting them, and that they continue to receive updates on all of our initiatives with COVID and aside from COVID. That's one huge challenge that we are facing during this difficult time. Meghan, what about you? I see you chuckling. So curious to know how the foundation is managing this challenge.
I chuckle because yes, I mean, it resonates so much with me that our email inboxes are blowing up. Every day I get 25 more emails about a COVID-19 update from Nordstrom. Thank you, appreciate that. You know, I think our hardest and our struggle is making sure that the women of Tri Sigma understand that our needs haven't diminished.
Sure.
We need their support now more than ever, but also ensuring that they know that we know they've been impacted by COVID-19. We understand that for some of them, they have been directly impacted. They've been furloughed. They've had reduction of hours. They have their kids at home. They're trying to do e-learning, and others, even more significantly, they're dealing with the virus itself, either themselves or a loved one. They're dealing with our overwhelmed healthcare system. And so trying to walk that line of making sure that the women of Tri Sigma understand that we are there for them. We want to support them. And we know that right now they might not be able to make a philanthropic gift, but also ensuring that they hear us, that we need them when they're able to make a gift and if they're able to make a gift. And so walking that line, that I think is our new struggle.
So meaningful and so challenging. Definitely all of us face different challenges, but at the same time, very similar challenges.
Yep. So we've talked about the struggle, but I think in every struggle, there's always a light. So let's take a minute. We acknowledge our struggles and what we're working through. Let's talk about the brightness that we found.
There's so many great things, so many exciting things. I have been so fortunate and so blessed to work closely with the staff and the volunteers. And this has been a time of not only extreme hardships and challenges, but a time to be innovative. And we have been able to put pen to paper, or that other analogy of where rubber meets the road, and allowed ourselves to think outside of the box, like I mentioned earlier. We're providing new resources to our members, Zoom resources, online resources. We had the COVID-19 web page that we had to build to house all of the communications, because we know that we are inundating you. We only can take so much in and retain it. So again, allowing our members to be able to go to a website and it's all there, not just our members, but our stakeholders and our peers. But then also be very creative and innovative in having some times to create things for the first time. So our seniors, our graduating seniors, this is a hard time for them when it's supposed to be a blissful time, and I can't imagine what they're going through. So we're having to think strategically on how to welcome them to this next phase of membership, the alumni side. And so having a senior week, all virtual, having online communities so people can continue to stay connected outside of their alumni community. So really just trying to be different and think about what the needs of our members are and honor and meet them where they are. So those are just a few things. Really excited for the next month to see some of those things actually unveil and continue to hear what our members need and want. What about you, Megan?
I cannot agree more. It's been a joy to watch you and your team pivot and innovate. It's been very fun, and to collaborate with you guys there. I just think you're doing a great job. The bright moments for me, definitely watching my team pivot. But when we were just on our staff call, we were focusing on those bright moments, and overwhelmingly the bright moment that kept coming up over and over again, we're watching Tri-Sigmas show up for each other, right?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
we're blessed to have social media right now, and so to be able to see them and watch those relationships, the investments that people are making in those relationships, the deepening of those relationships, sending care packages, reaching out, and having group gatherings and social gatherings, maybe via Zoom or FaceTime or another platform, doing game nights, just watching people invest in their sisterhood. It's really been beautiful to see the Tri Sigma sisterhood shine in a moment.
Absolutely. So true. And you talk about showing up. Founders Day, virtual Founders Day, we had no idea the success that would be, but that is something that we will be proud of for a long time, and seeing so many people come together to celebrate a long history of Tri Sigma, and then also to celebrate the success of our award winners.
Agreed. So speaking of that sisterhood, Jenna, from your seat, from your lens, how do you see Sigmas showing support for the sisterhood right now and kind of moving forward?
Oh, what a deep, great question. I think right now we're seeing people showing up in such an amazing way, and whether that be a quick text, a quick phone call. I see my social calendar, while it's full, but it's so different and full. And I think that people are coming together differently because they need to be there more so now than ever. And I believe that then is going to enrich our lives, and it's going to continue. And so not only are we getting phone calls and texts, but the snail mail that is coming, those personal letters, the attention to detail right now is just so fulfilling and rewarding. So I think that I hope, not even I think, I hope that will stick around and allow one another to continue to support each other whenever we resume normal, whatever new normal is going to be, whenever we begin non-sheltering in placing. But don't forget about everyone when shelter in places are released and the guidelines are minimized. We're going to have to really be able to be there for one another, because that integration may be hard for many. I am fearful what it will be for me. I have a house full of people right now. My kids are out in the other room. My husband's working from home. And so part of me will miss that partnership that I have during the day. So I would say, continue to be there for one another and continue to prioritize and focus and say, reach out and say, how are you? What do you need? How can I, as a sister, help you?
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. That times 100, Jenna. I completely agree with you. Like, be there for each other, show up for each other. I think you just hit the nail on the head when you talked about, because we've kind of adjusted to this new
Sure.
reality, this shelter in place. But I think you're right. In the coming weeks and months, there are going, those restrictions, the shelter in place are going to be relaxed. And I've heard so much from women, sisters, friends, you name it, that we are nervous and anxious about the next step, and what that's going to mean. So
Yeah.
absolutely being a resource, reaching out, and showing up for each other. Absolutely. I think the other ask, I wouldn't be doing my job as the foundation executive director if I didn't say that if you are able, the other thing that we need when we talk about the Tri Sigma Sisterhood and what women can do, not just right now, but in the future, is if you're able and when you're able to make a gift to the foundation to support the future of Tri Sigma, because we as the foundation have got to show up and be a bigger financial partner for the sorority. And that is something that the board, the staff are consciously and consistently talking about. How can we show up and be a bigger and better partner for you all financially? And and to be transparent, I think this is something you and I and our weekly or monthly, sometimes weekly calls.
Weekly, all things COVID. I feel we are having all of these COVID meetings, right?
Exactly. That we're talking about is how are we being financially the best stewards for us of donor dollars, for you of member dues. How are we being financially responsible in every way that we can? For us, we applied for the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program. I think often folks think about the foundation being this big organization. We're a team of 5, right? Like 5 people keep this strong and mighty organization running, in addition to our amazing volunteer board of directors and our additional volunteer teams. But, applying for that paycheck protection program ensures that I can pay my staff, right? That they can pay their mortgages or their rent, that they can put food on the table, that they don't have to worry about their basic necessities, so that we as a team collectively can focus on the membership of Tri Sigma and showing up and being there for them. With college campuses being closed, which I'll let you talk about that in a minute. But I mean, just for the foundation in collegiate chapter fundraisers in the spring, we've lost $200,000 in income. So it is real. This impact is here and is going to have an impact both on the grant that we can give to the national organization, the grant that we can give to Sigma Serves children partners, including RPM and March of Dimes. So it is very real. And we always laugh, we're like, in hard decisions, like there's no easy decision right now. We're just filled with hard decisions.
Yes, first, Meghan, let me say thanks for that honesty there. I appreciate that, and wish the foundation the best success as we are navigating this difficult time. You hit the nail on the head. We are having to be good stewards of our revenue, and I call that fiscal responsibility. I'm sure my team is tired of her, if every time Jenna said fiscal responsibility, we could raise tons of money for the foundation. But the reality is that we're having to be so mindful and really ask ourselves, if we spend this, if we choose to do X, what are the outcomes? With every action, there's a reaction. And so we had to have very, very difficult conversations and weigh the pros and cons. But as you know, the health and the safety of our members continue to be our number one priority. And that drove our decisions of canceling the spring programs and the early summer programs. We had to ensure that our members continue to be safe. And not only just our members, but the others that we would be traveling alongside with, or putting at risk when we were at hotels and venues. And so just really being mindful of that. And so those were not easy decisions to be made, but we had to be mindful of that and chose to make some really difficult decisions with canceling some of these programs. And right now we're in this hurry up and wait and seeing what the fall landscape will look like. And if we had our crystal ball to be able to see when our schools were opening and what enrollments would look like, that would really forecast a lot for us. But right now we don't know. So we're having to be, again, good stewards and mindful as we are in the budget planning for the next fiscal year, and just really thinking about what are the necessities, what are the needs, and what's a value add as we continue to move forward with all of the wonderful ideas that we have to support our members and to move forward with. But sometimes we have to think about what's the priority and what's the need right now and what can we do financially. So it's definitely hard, and we're looking at the fall and what does this mean for our sisterhood. Right now we have to hurry up and wait. So looking forward to being able to have a few more answers going forward, but know that the sorority is in great hands with executive council, with the staff, and all of the volunteers that continue to move our organization forward.
Absolutely. And thank you for that transparency, because I know saying we don't know
Yeah.
isn't easy. It's not easy. It's not, but it takes, I think, a really strong leader to say that, and to say that, the data is ever changing.
Yeah.
And so we don't yet have a concrete vision of the next step, but know that we're searching for that, and we're arming ourselves with industry research, industry experts, and we're reading, and we're searching for what that concrete next step will be. So thank you. I really appreciate that. I mean, like I kind of said before, I wish we're kind of in a time where there's just not easy decisions.
No
decision, has, like, to your point, every decision has such an equal and opposite reaction, and trying to weigh the pros and cons of that. I think one of the things we struggled a lot with was our giving day, right? So I talked about our $200,000 loss just in collegiate chapter fundraisers. So trying to figure out, we've been planning giving day for over 9 months. There'd been marketing, and the triangle and membership knew about it. And some, especially our matching donors, who had so just beautifully stepped up to support us, they were invested in this, and they wanted us to be successful. And when we circled back to them to say, hey, what do you think about this? In the time of COVID, fundraising is hard. Do you think that this is the right message? And do you think that the women of Tri Sigma will show up and support? And overwhelmingly, those matching donors said, yes, they will. We know that they will. And I think the Giving Day, the excitement around Giving Day, and the success of Giving Day already has shown that. And so we're just, because like I said, I know I sound like a broken record, but we just owe it. We owe it to you. We owe it to Executive Council. We owe it to the membership of Tri Sigma to do everything that we can. The foundation wants to do everything that we can to raise as much money as possible to really help figure out. We don't know what the answers are going to be. We don't know what the resources as an organization we're going to need to respond to the fallout of the pandemic, but we know you will need resources to respond to the pandemic that are going to be unique and different. And you're not going to be able to rinse and repeat and do everything that has been done before. You're going to need those resources to be successful. So not an easy decision, but just so grateful that the membership of Tri Sigma showed up for Giving Day, right? Like,
absolutely. Not only, I know you're grateful, but we are grateful as a sorority staff. We are grateful that you all made that difficult decision and to continue to proceed with Giving Day. And I'm confident that that was discussed and y'all considered every way possible, and people showed up, and that was remarkable, and continue to show up. And but it, not only do we continue to show up, we showed up on Founders Day, we're showing up on Giving Day, but I encourage all of us to continue to show up to support Sigma. We have some amazing things in the works. And when our members continue to show up, I hope that then they're able to see in turn their gifts being put to great use. We realize a priority is the mental health education and the resources surrounded that. And now more so than ever with COVID-19 and all of us being home, what's that going to do for our sisters and our membership? Other things that we know is a need and a priority come the fall when everybody returns to campus, how additionally we will be able to support our advisors, those frontline women that are working closely with our collegiate chapters, our collegiate leaders, because right now that landscape is also unknown. So we want to be able to impact and provide additional resources and training and support to our chapter advisors. And one thing that I am really, really excited about. So those were just a couple teasers, if you will, Megan, that I wanted to share with y'all about how we will put forth those grants and those resources, and really continue to encourage people to show up, not only for Sigma, show up for your sisters, and show up to continue to provide resources to us, and know that we are thankful, we are appreciative, and as our shirts say, the future is Tri Sigma. Without our members, without our colleagues and our friends and stakeholders, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And so I hope that people hear me in when I ask, join me in giving, and when you can, to continue to support the future of Tri Sigma.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you. And thank you to the membership of Tri Sigma for showing up for us and doing everything that you do. As Jenna said so beautifully, we couldn't do the work that we do without you. So thank you all for your support and for listening and for joining us today.
Yeah,
thank you again, Jenna.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Wishing to see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.